What's up, y'all? Jakob Owens here. Today, we're gonna break down the Kyle or K.I.D. We Can music video. This was the very first time I met Kyle, or at the time he was K.I.D. You probably know Kyle as Mr. I Spy, had some hit records, Netflix movie. Well, I knew him back when he was just a little 16-year-old kid recording out of his closet, making some records, and we met up through a mutual friend, Samson, who I was shooting music videos for in Arizona. And this is the story of how we first met and the time that we first met and shot this video. So really quickly before I dive into the video, Samson told me about this kid from Ventura. He's super dope, but he has no videos, no video content. I was trying to get into music videos at the time, and I was just trying to shoot as much as I could. So I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I'm coming back to California with Samson. Would love to shoot you a few music videos. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. He was so stoked because he had no videos. And so I went with Nolan, and we went up to meet him at his house in Ventura. And he came out of his house onto the street. I had my camera with me. We met for the very first time. It was like, hey, I'm Kyle. Hey, I'm Jake. You want to shoot a video? And so this was the actual first time that we met. And then a few moments later, we shot this video, We Can. It's basically kind of like a one-take walking shot, intercut with some edits in another location. And we shot this on the spot at the very first time we met. And then we shot a video the next day called Lemonade, and video the next day called The Fall. Became really good friends, and we just started shooting all the time. And as you can see, this video, 1.7 million views. We just started uploading all his videos to the Buff Nerds. I was shooting all his music videos for free. In return, I would put all the videos on my YouTube channel. And that was kind of what started growing the Buff Nerds heavy early on, was the videos with Futuristic, with K.I.D., with Samson and Sam King, and really kind of started this whole little music video movement. But anyways, let's get into the video. We Can, Jakob Owens. Look at those titles. They're awful. Look at this. K.I.D. Gear-wise, my Canon T2i, and I had just picked up the Tokina 11-16 wide angle lens. Now this was one of my favorite lenses, and you can see the flare coming in here. I loved the flare. You'd get these circle flares. It was super wide, and you had to pull the focus ring back and forth. It was, I don't know, it was very interesting. But it was one of my favorite lenses, and I actually had a little glide cam. I threw the T2i with the 11-16 glide on the glide cam, and it wasn't balanced well at all. You can kind of see I wanted a smooth kind of handheld feel while not being so shaky and handheld, so that's why it's on the glide cam, but still feels like there's a lot of movement. A lot of cuts. Dude, damn. So you can see the flare there on the side. A lot of cuts. I thought that mirror effect was so sick. I do it a lot in the second verse, but throughout, just kind of trying to trip out. I think early on, when you're doing music videos and you're trying to find a style and you're just trying to make something dope, it's easy to overdo it on the effects and think it's cool, and then it just becomes a little cheesy and amateurish. So that was kind of I look back at this and I'm like, dang, I was trying to do too much. So early on, don't try and do too much. You know what I mean? Sprinkle it in there, but don't OD on it. The high heel shoes. There's so much things that we can do. You know, go on a luxury cruise. London, Asia, you can choose. Love this. Color-wise, I like to do this a lot, even to this day. In the shadows, I like to put a lot of blues towards. It's like a classic teal and orange look, where the shadows are much more on the blue tinted side, and you have the highlights more towards the yellow or orange. And I did it here early on too, not even really thinking about it. It's just what I liked to do and I thought would look good. I dragged with the shadows into the blue, coloring wise. Highlights and midtones were a little more warm. So it's interesting to look back all the way to this video in 2011, 8 years ago, July 9th. Wow, we're almost up on 8 years officially. And just seeing that I knew to do that look, or at least, that was in my thought process. In a nutshell, it's the very first time I ever met Kyle. And from there on, we just decided to continue to work and build a working relationship. I would get videos done, I'd be able to use them, put them all on my channel, he'd get free videos, and it turned into something really special when he did getting signed. And I made a good amount of money off YouTube doing his videos, so it was beneficial because he got his videos and then I got paid on the back end, but he got videos for free. So it all worked out. Collaboration is everything. It's super important. You can find people to trust and work with and build with. That's how you get far in any industry. But yeah, after that, we literally the next day we shot Lemonade right here. So very next morning, we went to his high school, Ventura High School, shot this video. This was kind of where things, when we dropped this one, it really started to like pop off a little bit more so than anything. Like he started gaining a little traction, the channel started getting a little buzz because right at the time, this song was pretty popular and this is like a remix. But yeah, I'm getting too far away. Maybe this is for another time. But yeah, that video, super simple. It was a Canon T2i, Tokina lens, little fly cam. That's the story of when I very first met Kyle and shot his very first video and how we ended up growing and building together and shooting throughout the years. And then I've gone on to shoot a bunch of his videos after that, once he was signed with the label, and he still remains one of my good friends today. All right, that is it for today's little story breakdown of my past work. If there's any videos you guys want to see, any questions you have, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. I'm Jakob Owens for the Buff Nerds.